Shalom, shalom to the 144,000, the elect. Before I get started, let me give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honor to the apostle nails, the great millstone. Peace and blessing to the brothers that are preaching the truth in the four winds of the earth. May Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua have mercy upon you. All right, I wanted to talk about this young brother, Tory Lanez, Lanez, right? And Megan Thee Stallion. This woman right here, this is Kelsey Nicole, right? Well, what I'm really truly highlighting is Eve. Eve, when I say Eve, the so-called black woman, which is the head tribe of all the tribe of the women, right? She's a special kind of evil. And what do I mean by a special kind of evil? She's a wicked ass individual in the devil's kingdom, which is Esau's kingdom. And I know that in the last 2 weeks or so, 2 weeks, maybe a little over 2 weeks, I've been highlighting Eve's wickedness, and it's necessary. Why is it necessary for you so-called black men to know that Eve? Leave him alone, man. Leave him alone. Because they are what? They are doing the devil's bidding in his kingdom. You know, Eve is just like the so-called white woman back in the days of when the white woman used to scream grape, or just say that a so-called black man had done something to her. What happened? He was hung up, burned, or whatever. So this is the modern day. Remember the story of the boy who cried wolf, which is similar in the degree of someone's crying out, and it is not in any form of harm. You know, it's just being lies that are being told. You know, Eve used the system to tear down the so-called black man. Hey man, Esau Edom does this, and his reason for this here is that he knows that Judah, which is the so-called black man, in the days of the Lord revisiting the earth, the beginnings of that of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua visiting the earth, there's going to be an uprising, and that uprising is going to start with the hands of Judah, who shall rise him up. Judah, man, because Judah is the head tribe of all the men tribe, right? This is why you see in Esau's kingdom, which is the devil's kingdom, the so-called white man, which is you all be trying to, hey, another story, not trying to get off topic. You know, I may here and there, but the topic is Eve wickedness, and Jake being what? Being part of Eve's reign. When I say reign, I mean her glorying in the so-called black man's blood. And what do I mean by that? Because how many so-called black men have died by the hands of a so-called white man for Eve crying out? So know this. You know, Eve used tears for a secondary gain, and that secondary gain is always used when she have no other way out. When the lies don't come together, and she's being exposed, she go to crying, just like the so-called white woman did in the days of when the so-called white woman cried out and Jake was hung up in a damn tree. So Eve is literally hanging Jake in a damn tree every time she cry with the lies and go, because the court system is not for us. When I say us, the so-called black man, it's not for us. And they all gonna use the court system to hang a nigga, man. That's literally what it is. But let's just get into it, and I'm not going in no particular order. because shit, the videos is endless. I don't know which one. I just clicked on this first one here with this girl Kelsey or Nicole. You know, the lies. You know, she herself. You know, Eve. How many lies Eve have kept and took to the grave? Took to the grave. You know, even my own mama, man. Hey, not to get off subject, but hey, it's relevant. Have took a lot of secrets to the grave, and you know, that's another story. But hey, anyway, the point is, Eve holds a lot of secrets, man, and a lot of those secrets consist of evil. Evil. When we as a people, as the Israelites, we as a people, we supposed to what? We supposed to highlight evils. Why? Because evil shouldn't be amongst the people, meaning us as Israelites. So we supposed to highlight wickedness, and we don't do that in the devil's kingdom, because the devil has taught us, and he has a lot of us working for him for what? For monetary gain, because monetary gain is what? Is the way of life for what we think, or what we think. You know, we don't have the spirit of who is that? Moses. We don't have the spirit of Moses. You know, we choose to suffer with your people versus being in the house of the wicked, which is the modern day Egyptian, which is the damn Hamites, which most of us think we are. But anyway, I'm finna click on these stories, and in the process of me clicking on these stories, I'm gonna go into a lesson. I'm gonna highlight how wicked the so-called black woman is, and how she is why she's always when 9 times out of 10 when a so-called black man blood is spilled in the street, there's a great chance that Eve is involved. So here we go.
Media games by now, then I don't know what to tell y'all. But you guys have to pay attention. Like, I knew this was gonna happen. This is just the beginning, y'all. I know y'all want me to talk, but this is just the beginning. So, like, when it's my turn, just know I'm gonna break everything the fuck down, okay? And we're gonna see who really look bad in the end. Social media games by now.
Alright, let me read through these comments, because the comments can always find a little more truth, you know. Because one thing about these celebrities, they like talking and speaking around shit instead of just saying what it is. Okay, now she's in court and don't remember shit. Notice now, they were 2 years ago. This was 2 years ago now. Now she's in court and don't remember shit, and pleading the fifth straight cap. Here we are. She went to court and said nothing. Sick of all of them. This 2 years ago. Listen up. Unless they are gonna to tell the whole story, I need them all to stop talking. Girl, it was your turn and you didn't say a damn thing. What does that mean? That means that what? She was down with the program, or what? Of hanging another black man. So-called black man, should I say. Right? But when sometimes I don't say so-called, because what? Because, you know, this Esau created that black madness that most of us always have a problem with getting away with. When black mean it's a negative term, meaning void of light, you know. So anyway, let's read a few more, then I'm gonna go into another video. Not in no particular order. When it's my turn to talk just now, I'ma beg for immunity, fake amnesia, and plead the fifth perjury. Nicole. See, she knew the truth. And the truth was that the guy Tory never did it, and she knew that. And they all what? They all just hung another black man and lied on him. You know, the so-called white man, he's always gonna use Eve He's always going to use Eve just like he used Eve as in the garden. Still the same, the two same spirits working hand in hand to do what? To take down Adam. Even though Tory, he's that's another story. I mean, when I say Adam, I mean the so-called black man. So here we go. Watch the company you keep. Jealousy is in friendship is a real thing. Now let's see, can we get us some more recent ones? Let's bag this up. Let's get us some more recent ones of this guy's stories, Corey's story. Right? Let's see something. Okay, here he is right here, right? And what they really trying to do, right, is kind of like shut this guy up because the truth is coming out. Now this guy right here, now this was 2 days ago. Tory Lanez attacked by what? By a prisoner who killed his underage girlfriend with a shotgun. Did y'all know that? Well, you all are aware of what they saying. Now Tory Lanez, let's read it again. Tory Lanez, Lanez. They say Lanez, but Lanez, but I'm gonna say Tory Lanez like everybody else say. Tory Lanez attacked by a prisoner who killed his daughter underage girlfriend with a shotgun. So let's hear this out. Let me fix this here.
On the surface, every blue dot represents a completed project by Window World. But when you look deeper, the blue dots mean so much more. They depict the trust, faith, and confidence.
Sorry about that, y'all.
Man, what's up, everybody? It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're gonna be.
I don't want to hear this crap, man. That's too much. I want to get in some short clips. That's what I want. I want some short clips. Hold up, y'all. 1 second. I want to get in some short clips. Let's get Megan. You see how they're not pushing her. I don't want that down. I don't want that guy there. Antoine Daniel, he talked too damn much too. They lied on stories, set him up. Okay, let's click on this.
We are here today to bring to your attention.
Now let's see something. Let me see how old this clip was right here, y'all. 1 second. Now this was 1 day ago. Okay, so hey, let's see something right quick. This is 1 day ago right here. So listen up.
Some information Unite the People believes is exculpatory in Mr. Daystar Peterson's case, professionally known as Tory Lanez. Recently, we've been made aware that a member of the media, Mr. Gianno Caldwell, was working on an op-ed for the New York Post regarding Mr. Peterson's innocence. During his work on that op-ed, he became aware of some information in Unite the People's possession regarding a statement that was given to Unite the People by someone with information relevant to that case. The New York Post recently reached out to the prior district attorney, George Gascon, Megan Pete and her representatives, and Kelsey Harris and her representatives. The only party that responded last week was Megan Pete's representatives with a request for more information. A few days later, Mr. Peterson's brutally attacked in his jail cell. Unite the People represents Daystar Peterson in his appellate process.
Why are they doing this here? Because it's out now that Megan lied, and the prosecutor knew that she was lying, and in the process of they always want to seem as though when they crucifying a so-called black man in their court system, and whether he's guilty or innocent, even when he's found not guilty, you still have to go through a so-called court process to get out of prison. What kind of shit is that? When they know for a fact that this guy's innocent, and they won't let him out of prison because why? Because of all of the wrong that they have done, and they want to act as though They didn't know that the women were lying. They didn't know that he didn't do what they said he did. This is, even myself was a victim to the system. Even myself. And I know the ins and the out of this wicked ass system because I myself was once part of it for quite some time. And this shit here is this is why Eve evil, her wickedness has to be highlighted, especially in the time in the day that we're in at this present moment, because all of the wickedness, especially over here in Babylon, which is America, that shit needs to be highlighted, and it needs to be talked about daily. And Eve, she's no better in trying to hide their wickedness, because it's all out front. They keep pushing. They push out. Right now, even while I'm speaking, you best believe there are hundreds of videos being made by a so-called black woman with her wickedness. Whether she's talking about, regardless of what she's talking about, is always deal with her being what, being part of something that's wicked, man. Well, let's hit a little more of this shit here, man.
Filed an appellate brief and a writ of habeas corpus on his behalf.
See, the appellate brief and a habeas corpus, those are just terms that are used to keep the BS still continue to go, because they ain't gonna just let them out. They're not gonna just let him out on his behalf. Meaning a courtroom process that they have to go through appeals and all that stupid shit, which is nothing but a bunch of made up damn lies to keep a nigga locked down.
We not gonna skip over that, bro. We not just gonna skip over the whole
I ain't putting on one of Anton Daniels' little short clips anyway. He all over. He trying to get his money.
idea that when they reached out to let them know that they had new evidence or they had the truth behind what was going on, and I'm sure that he's going to reveal what the truth is. I literally just stepped off the plane and seen this while I was on the plane. I couldn't wait to get to my hotel room so that I can have this conversation. That literally, right after that, he got attacked by a dude that is serving life in prison on a prison yard.
Hey, man, look at him, man. Know that the shit that you see on these streets out here, meaning the all of the violence, that shit don't even compare to jail, to being in prison, man. The violence in prison, even though they don't have guns in prison, man, and you just can't just take a brother out in that manner. Listen, man. Listen, man. If you around that shit for so long, I won't give a damn how humble you are. When you go to prison, most men have to have a set. Excuse me, y'all. When I say a set, I meaning they have to run with a crew, and most likely the crew that you run with is going to be. I'm just giving you some insider shit that a lot of you all don't know, cause y'all be sitting around here watching goddamn television, and these this bullshit they feed you on these TV with about prison life. Listen, man, those goddamn guards up in there, man, they are the wicked of the wicked, and most of them are ex-military people, so blood don't bother them. Seeing the slaughtering of people, that shit don't bother them, because they have seen so much of it. It's like it's just coming to them. And then a lot of them damn white men, so-called white men, they're what? When they be in the military, they be going to these countries, man, and all they do is rape and ravish people, man, and slaughter people. This is what Esau Edom is. This is his blessing. That sword, which is that gun, and this is what they do. And this is what a lot of people don't talk about. This shit is not put forth out front because You know, even though because when people are directly involved in something, they know how evil something is, and they was involved in it. They like to talk and speak around shit, man. When the shit that need to be talked about, not all that talking in damn circles, trying to keep people. Well, maybe not, maybe, and all this old. I can't stand this shit. Never have. I can't stand it, man. You know, the shit is so hindered. So what's the word I'm looking for? Damn. I'm just using cruel. The shit is so cruel, and their behavior is so wicked. You can never imagine, man. You can't, but really, you can't explain this shit because the way they move and how they do shit, like this boy Tory, they trying to kill him, and they know he innocent. That's like dudes begin, you know, back in the days, man. Long time ago, but back in the day, but the shit still goes on. You know, a prosecutor or a lawyer or whoever, if they'll send word in a prison, man, to take a joke of life, man, and it ain't hard. And you can pay a guy a few $100s, man, to kill a guy in prison, man. Because some of these dudes be living hard in prison, man. They don't got nobody to send them money or look out for them, and they'll what? They'll send word and for a small measly little money, man, and have a guy stabbed to death. I know I'm ranting a little bit, but the ranting is relevant because I'm just trying to highlight and tell you a lot of the shit people that not aware of because they have never been behind those walls, man. Those walls, those gates, the fence, especially the wall. You know, it really goes down behind the wall. And the wall is most likely a high level security prison where, man, shit daily, man, someone's getting stabbed. Hey, man, I have many stories. And the shit is endless. You know, I can tell you some shit that I go talking in circles, but the level of wickedness, sometimes the shit can't be explained. I mean, I understand sometimes when people be talking in circles, man, because it's so much you can tell and so much you can highlight to where you really don't know where to start in highlighting wickedness. I'll be here all day, man, you know, telling stories and talking about the level of wickedness that I witnessed since being here in this devil's kingdom. So let's just hit this on out, and I'm gonna skip on a few more. Then I'm gonna go in the comment section. So here we go.
Right after, the day after they reached out to Meg and Pete, who was Meg Thee Stallion's team, all of a sudden, for whatever reason, Tory Lanez ends up in the hospital when they tried to take his life. We stood on business since day one. And all of these women said that Tory Lanez was guilty and that he needed to go to jail and believe all women. And I shot credibility in that from day one when she appeared on Gayle King's show and she said that they never slept together. And in the documentary, she then revealed that they did sleep together, which obviously we seen all of the details of the case and nobody could prove that he actually shot her. But everybody was keeping quiet because they wanted to protect themselves and they didn't want to go to jail themselves and be charged with the whole situation. But she is the one that said that he shot her. Now you see hits coming out in prison and they trying to take this man's life. And from day one, I said, I don't believe it. I think that she's lying. This woman need to be prosecuted and sent to prison.
And this shit ain't gonna happen. Let's read some of these comments over here. If she, I don't know, ain't got no app, BBBB, whatever. If she lied, take her ass to jail for double in his sentence. You know, this shit always talked about. Ain't shit gonna happen. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Because why? Because the prosecutors will have to admit that they knew all the time. And she, listen, man, secrets, man. Secrets are very heavy in Hollywood, man. Are very heavy. That's another story. And admit it to lying on him. So why is he even still in prison to begin with? Because this so-called legal system, this process that they have to go through, all this red tape, paperwork ass bullshit, which is all this made up law. See, man, this how you see. They could get him out of prison right now because law, Westlaw, is made up. It's made up. They don't want to make it. They don't want to show you in it's always, they can say habeas corpus and appeals. You got to do this and file this and file that. It's bullshit, man. Bullshit. It's just a so-called legal process that, you know, this is the law. You know, the system. You know, want to show you that the law is fair. The scales of justice, which is the scales of bullshit, which is a bunch of what? A bunch of people coming up against a so-called black man for the purpose of trying to stop this. But you can't stop it now, because the spiritual awakening of the so-called black man, and in the process of the spiritual awakening of the so-called black man, what has transpired? People is getting what? Being to be what? Woke. By who? The prophets. The prophets are the only ones that can wake the people up properly, meaning what? In the ways of what? Of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Because everyone is damn lost. Everyone is lost, and Eve plays a major role in the devil's kingdom, and her ass is going to get it just like a so-called white man. When over here in America, she's going to get burned to a goddamn crisp. And I can't wait till the Lord take this wicked ass place out, man. This corrupt system we live in, no shit. Let's click on it. Gascon is part of the Joe Banner coalition, and Megan is with them too. She's one of our many entertainers that run with the group. Remember, when she is, let me click on this here. When she is running with the BTS boys, same coalition, Democrat politics, and Tony Lanez, I'm just say Lanez lost on that one. Free Tory Lanez. Okay, let me see. There should be a consequence for false accusation. Man, shit. You know, all that old goddamn there should be, this should be, all that underground hand talking about, anytime the so-called black woman does something and her damn wickedness is never highlighted. It always got to be black people. No, black Eve. They always keeping that shit in and trying to blame it on the whole nationality. Well, hell, they don't black ain't no damn nationality. We'll just say black people. Blame it on all black people and leave out highlighting the so-called black woman. JP say, you notice that what? That Kelsey and Megan hate each other, but both willing to put a black man in prison. See that, man? See that shit? and that's exactly what it is. These women hate one another, but that wicked ass sisterhood shit. That wicked ass sisterhood shit. Man, notice him now. Why you stupid niggas, black niggas. While y'all be trying to highlight the so-called black woman in her wickedness, I always talking about some no matter this and every black woman, man, fuck that. I always talking about some every black woman ain't this, every black woman ain't that. This is a goddamn lie. Every black woman is wicked as hell until you show me you ain't wicked. It's that goddamn simple, man. It's just like a snake. Put all the ass in a bucket, or crabs or whatever, or snakes or crab. Put them all in a bucket, man. And you gonna sit there and try to pick and choose which one is wicked? No. So immediately you show what? You show resistance against what? Wickedness. Eve is wicked, man. Until she show me otherwise. Until she show me otherwise, her ass is wicked, man. So she's what? Just like all the other crabs in that fucking bucket, man, and snakes. Your choice that Kelsey and Megan hate each other, but were both willing to put a black man in prison. Who is Kelsey? The details have been murky for me. Yeah, you way behind. I mean, I don't even watch this shit here, and I know all that. Cooler, I'm talking about not these names. The former best friend who dated Tori, oh, she giving the spiel concerning them. The former best friend who dated Tori first. Megan stole him from her. And they got to fighting that night. She shot Megan and then got immunity, and they all blame Tori. See that? High key, I'm just reading the damn comment, man. Sometimes you know, people have typos and all that shit, so hey, it ain't me. High key, I always thought Kelsey was the one that shot her. Whole case had so many inconsistencies. Staying on code. He shot her. You're funny. Ha ha. See that? I knew it. That woman should do time. She took an oath, then lied. These women are dangerous. No. Yeah, they dangerous. Of course they dangerous. See, the prosecutor and the judges, they all be knowing. They all know. And Jake's so damn crazy behind Eve black ass that they kind of sort of be going right along with it. You know how you say a lie so much and you begin to believe that lie. This is what happens. This is why Esau Edom control you all as well, where they be pushing these lies on these news stations, and you all sitting around be watching that shit day in and day out, and in the process of watching it day in and day out, they shoot so many lies you don't know what the fucking truth is. So you just go right along with the narrative that the so-called white man says when we eat. Fucking total wickedness, man. Everyone should have known. I'm reading this guy, Wiz 205. Everyone should have known she was lying doing that interview with all that fake crime. Yeah. When they crying, they fucking lying. Huh? When they crying, they lying. They lose crime for what? For secondary gain. And that secondary gain is what? When they can't get the see where they lies are not folding, so they just fold in and get. So what they do? When they see that they've been cornered, they cry and then get hostile. There it is right there. That's sure. That's get right out the gate. Megan, so I say Megan, on the interview talking about, he said, dance bitch, and oh my God, I knew she was lying when I heard the Daystar album. The one part that stuck out was when he said, how you get shot in your foot, and it hit no bone and tendons, knowing it takes up to 6 months for a shot to the foot to heal and would require crutches. Yeah, I mean, because when you get shot, and then her ass was what? She was dancing on stage, shaking that stinking ass BBL when she was so-called was shot in the foot. And you know all this shit stink. It took Tory Lanez to almost get unalived for these folks to get the truth they already knew. His album already told what was going on. I don't know what album he talking about. He must did some kind of prison album or something in prison. But hey, man, let's get into the scriptures, man. Let me see, can I get let me see something right quick. I want to get that Tramp Meg Thee Stallion on here. Let me see something. Let me see, can I catch her line? See, Travis, 7 years ago, he's again. No, let me see, can I get hold on, y'all. Let's see something. That's 18 hours ago. Hold up. Tory Lanez reacts to being innocent before Megan Thee Stallion. Jay-Z set him up to get stabbed. Oh, let's hear this out.
Into this. I want to get into this because it's very important for me to just say this. I'm not here to bash this woman. I'm not here to come down on this woman. I'm not here to disrespect her or throw her under the bus. But it comes to a certain standpoint where I just can't let my character be assassinated.
See what I'm talking about? You see how even in the overall of him being lied on, he still find the time to try to defend it, bitch.
For things that are not even really true, like and for falsified narratives and information. Let's start this off. When the original report came out, and it was a TMZ report about this, that, and the third, and there was gunshots in Kylie Jenner's house, and Tory Lanez goes to jail. They gave y'all all the facts of the juice of Tory Lanez going to jail, and this, that, and the third, and Megan getting arrested, and da-da-da-da. 2 days after that, I get a call from Rock Nation that says, yo, we heard you're going to make a statement about what happened, and it'd be in your best interest if you don't make that statement. So I'm like, oh, okay, I don't understand what the issue of me telling my fans, like, yo, look, it's not that serious of a deal. I went to jail for whatever. It's like, I didn't get for that 2 days why that was an issue. 2 days later, the TMZ report come out. TMZ reports, and have the surveillance now. Now they see the video of the arrest. You see Megan, you see me, and you see it's all sprawled out on the ground in bathing suits and blah, blah, blah. And everything I'm saying is public record. You can go back and look at it. You can go back and see it. Like, you feel me? So they say, oh, okay, you know, you see her out of the car. She's getting out of the car. She's hopping. It looks bad, bro. And I'm not going to lie. Like, I felt bad watching it because it made her look bad. And it didn't make her look good. It didn't make any of us look good.
See? Even in all the lies she told on him and put his ass in prison, this motherfucker is still not. He's still worried and trying to protect Meg Thee Stallion fucking her image. See, this is why this nigga needs to be. Hey, that's why I have no sympathy for these niggas, man. These so-called hood niggas, because y'all make shit bad for the brothers out here that actually are good. Just like no different in women. I know all black women are not evil, man. I know all not evil, man. But for the most part, most of them mother is wicked. It's wicked. And all the shit that she have done to him and lied on him, his ass been stabbed in prison and everything. He's still trying to protect the bitch's image, man. Amazing.
Of us look good. And I didn't want that for her. I don't see that for anybody. So all of a sudden, when we get arrested, or when it looks like we all got arrested, the memes start. Now I want to really bring you guys in for a second so you can understand something. And I really just want you to take this in. Like, she is a person I spent enough time with her to observe and understand something about her, where it's like, she's going through a lot. She goes through a lot. She deals with a lot on her day.
Here we go. Instead of him talking about whether he guilty or innocent, he's trying to protect it. He's still trying to protect the image of this bitch, man. Oh my goodness, man.
On a day-to-day basis. And because of that, she's not used to, you know, and not even just because of that, but just because of the fact that she's been praised so much. We've always looked at her as like, yo, that's hip-hop sweetheart. Like, she's nice, she's talented, whatever the case is, cool. And because of that,
she's a hoe, nigga. That's what she is, nigga. And she's got your dumb black ass in prison. And they, you know, see, that's why you can't have no sympathy for Jake, man. Can't have no sympathy for Jake, man, because Jake put himself in the predicament that he's in, man. Fuck him. Let's just hear him on out, man. I'm going to the scriptures, man.
Like, we've never seen a moment where the memes have come at her, where the memes are like, yo, nigga, let's laugh at your pain. Ah, ha, 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 ha. She's never had to deal with that because she's always been praised. So everything that's been happening has been a reaction off of what's been going on. So it gets down to this point now where it's like, now the reports are starting to say, okay, well, everyone's pointing to different things. You no one really knows what's happened. But nobody has ever said she got shot. Nobody has ever said she got shot. Not TMZ, not the police report at this point. Nothing is saying that she got shot. Soon as she sees herself on video with the bikini and the things like that, and it looks bad, she then comes out and says, yo, the narrative of me getting cut by glass, it's just not true. She doesn't point at nobody or anybody or say anything or anything like that. She just says the narrative that whatever came out of me being cut by glass is not true. I was shot in my feet with the intention to harm me and put harm and danger upon me. Right? So, okay, cool. Like, all of a sudden, the affiliates of her circle start pointing, like, little subliminal fingers, like, count your days, and, like, I won't be around, and he's shooting at feet, and, like, little funny things that they start doing. And I'm kind of like, damn, hold on, where are y'all about to take this? Because y'all told me not to make a statement.
That's why I say Jay-Z's part of the evil industry.
I'm enough of that shit. Let's get into the scriptures, man. Whew, Lord. The point is down here in verse 3. But I'm gonna start at the top concerning Eve, right? So I'm gonna start at the top. I'm in Lamentations. First off, I'm in Lamentation 4 and verse 1. I'm gonna start at the top. How is the gold become dim? And that gold is what? Is Israelites. Have become dim. How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. Look at us, man. We in all the ghettos. We in all the ghetto doing what, man? Doing Esau's wickedness. And even in our state, that condition that we're in, what's going on, man? We still can't find the time to come together and to be there for one another. Why? Because we as a people, we are destroyed. And the devil controls the earth. And the earth is what? The earth is given into the hands of the wicked man. He covered the faces of the judges. If it ain't the so-called white man that controls the earth and he's the devil of the earth, then who the hell is it? How is the gold become them? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, the Israelites, the head tribe, Judah, how are they esteemed as earthen pitches? Meaning, we don't have no damn foundation. We lost, broken. Look at this Jacob here. He still try to find the time to protect a woman that put him in prison for 10 years, man, for nothing. But he still want to talk in circles when the truth is out. Everybody know the truth now, and yet he's still talking in circles. Everybody talking and speaking and know what went on, but he's still talking in circles for what? For Eve, wicked ass. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen pitchers? The work of the hands of the potter. Meaning what? That word goes into what? Potter goes into what? To be formed or framed for what? For a purpose. And the purpose that we as the children of Israel, well, man, let me just say this. And just say this here, that concerning the overall wickedness that you see here on earth, know this, that Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, this is his book, this is his story, and he has what? We are in the condition that we are in because the Heavenly Father, and during these times, is searching, not searching, well, he knows. But I just use the word searching because that's a better, so y'all can understand concerning searching for his elect, even though he know who his elect is. But the elect is going to first rise from what? From Babylon, which is America, when it is destroyed. And in the process of that happening, the earth is going to go into a overall shift from evil to what? To good. All of the wickedness that Esau Edom had poured out upon the earth it won't be what? It won't be heard of. Verse 3. Now, this is the wicked woman. And the head lead of that wickedness of the women is Eve. Verse 3 of Lamentations 4 and 3. Even the sea monster draw out the breast, they give suck to their youngs. The daughter of my people is become cruel, like the ostrich of the wilderness. And man, guess what? As a whole, the whole house of Israel are what? Are wicked. The whole house. Slash what? Eve, man. Eve. Eve had what that is, Ecclesiasticus 25:24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. So Eve is what? Eve is Ecclesiasticus 25:24. Eve is through her we all die, man. And we're gonna have this wickedness until Yahweh Hashem Yahweh come to what? Come to take Eve, take the so-called white man down. Well, that's Eve. Verse 4 of Lamentation 4 and 4. The tongue of the sucking child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for thirst. Well, let me go back. You know what? Let's start at verse 3 again, because I want to make a statement concerning Eve wickedness again as well. I want to highlight something. Even verse 3. Even the sea monster draw out the breast. They give suck to what? To their youngs. The daughter of my people is become cruel, like the ostrich in the wilderness. Yeah, an ostrich would take her young and put them in a well, she don't take good care of her young. Let me just say that way, just to narrow it down. Just like Eve. All Eve is concerned with is monetary gain. Is from making making her kids or getting her kids, because we all know by now. Well, I can't say what we all know. Most of us know that what? Now I can't say most of us. The small portion of us that can receive the truth know that Eve is hard on her young, meaning her children, and only think about what? Monetary funding and gain when it comes to what? Her children. So she's selfish in her behavior. She's gonna always be selfish, because the so-called white man is affording her to what? To get abroad, meaning what? To run the damn streets, man, and to do what the hell she want to do. Verse 4, Lamentation 4 and 4. The tongue of the sucking child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for what? For thirst, meaning what? Some form of nourishment which you can't get from Eve. The young children as bread, and no man what? Breaketh it unto them. There it is. Meaning our children, the so-called black man, mostly, has no what? No structure, no foundation, no leadership. Hosea 4 and 6. For my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. So we are starting with the so-called black man. The Heavenly Father has what? Has rejected us, man. Because the curses, now we still, at this present moment, we sit upon the what? The curses. The curses are going to be with us until but in the process we do have grace now. Meaning that the Heavenly Father is not going to, as a whole, is going to slaughter us and going to allow the so-called white man to take us all the way out. This is where grace come in. And we, in the time that we're in now, we, as the 1/3, the hopeful 1/3, should I say, is hoping for what? For that mercy in these times. Because mercy is going to be needed for us to come out of Babylon alive. Verse 4 again. The tongue of the sucking child cleaveth to the what? The roof of his mouth for thirst. Meaning, again, no nourishment. the young children as bread. No man breaketh it unto them. Meaning what? No damn structure, no foundation. We have no leaders, no leadership. Starting with Eve, the so-called black woman. That is. Let me skip to. I'm gonna come back to verse 5. Let's go to verse 11. I want to make that point a little more in depth concerning verse 4. Verse 11. The Lord Yahweh has accomplished his fury. And what was his fury? Meaning that he brought the curses of Deuteronomy 28 upon us, man. The Lord Yahweh has accomplished his fury. He has poured out this fierce anger and has kindled a fire in Zion. This is why Eve is paraded and proud in the wicked kingdom. You know, even though Eve is a counterpart to the so-called black man, which is the so-called black woman, she's still what? She's separate from what? At the present moment, these curses. But Eve is about to feel these curses of Deuteronomy 28, just as the so-called white man is about the curses of Deuteronomy 28 is about to flip over on the so-called white man as well. The Lord Yahweh has accomplished his fury. He has poured out his fierce anger and has kindled a fire in Zion. And it has devoured the foundation thereof. The foundations of what? Of us as a people. Real quick, let's go to Amos. And I'm going to come back over here. What's that, 7? Amos 7 and 17. Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city. What does that mean? Eve. That's Eve, man. A harlot, a prostitute. You know, they always, they do what? They sell sex for money. Huh? And now they're being exposed publicly, just as the so-called white man. What that is? Ecclesiastes 42. Her father a shame. Yeah, let's go to it right quick. Ecclesiastes 42. Let's see. Which is in the Apocrypha. Ecclesiastes 42 and 9. Yeah. The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for what her taketh away his sleep. You know, that's a man laying in bed for word about his daughter, because he is what? His daughter is his possession until she is what? He is given, and a man is supposed to give his daughter away, right? Not her gadding abroad and being a whore and shaking her ass in the street, man. The father waketh for the daughter from his sleep, because his daughter is not home. When no man knoweth, and the care for what? For her taketh away asleep, when she is what? When she is young. Lest she pass away the what? The flower of her age. What is that? Her menstrual cycle, man. When a young woman has her menstrual cycle, she is what? She's a young lady. Meaning she can have children. She can bear children. The flower of her age, and being married, lest she should what? Be hated. Why would she be hated? For her wickedness. Verse 10. Let's see. In her virginity, life she should what? Should be filled and guided with child in her father's house. In having an husband, lest she should what? Misbehave herself, and when she is married, lest she should be what? Be barren, meaning what? That she can't produce, have no children. What's more shame than in the days of old? The women used to be ashamed. For one, she can't have children, and for two, she having children out of what? Out of wedlock. Now the shame is now Eve has no shame. Now, and they don't want children. How many children the so-called black woman slaughters and kills yearly? The numbers is too high to count. The numbers is too high to count. I'm not going any further. Let's go back over here into Lamentations. Lamentations 4 and verse 5. They that feed delicately are desolate in the streets. They that were brought up in scarlet embrace dung hills. Meaning we're in all the shitholes of America. You name it. The Israelites, this is for the most part, as a whole, if we not join hand in hand with the wicked, whether we are in the streets and coming out of the so-called ghettos and being rappers and singers and being a part of the devil's, the so-called white man's system, and the whole foundation of his you so-called coming up out the hood is you being what? Going to this industry to get your ass played with. That's what selling your soul is in this man's system. They that did feed delicately are desolate in the streets, that were what? Brought up in scarlet embraced dung hills. Again, we're in all the shitholes. Even the prophets in the days of old has failed the people. Including the prophets. For the wickedness of the what? Of the house. They fell for what? The wickedness of the house of Israel. Even though again, now the Heavenly Father, everything you see is for a purpose. And that purpose is what you see in now, the great awakening of what? Of the Israelites, starting with the so-called black man. For the punishment, verse 6 of Lamentations 4 and 6, for the punishment of the iniquity of the daughters of my people, which is Eve, for what? Ecclesiastes 25 and 24, for the beginning of sin, for the woman is the beginning of sin, through her we all die. For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people, is greater than the punishment of the sins of Sodom, that was overthrown as in a moment, and no hand stayed on her. So Eve wickedness is being highlighted, and she's being exposed again, just as the so-called white man is being exposed. And it's not going to stop until Yahweh Shah come here into what? And take this place out, man. Verse 7, I'm going down a little more. Verse 7, Lamentation 4 and 7. Her Nazarites were purer than snow. Right? They were what? Whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in body than rubies. I'm not going in all the terms and breaking down all the words. Their what? Polishing was what? Was of sapphire. Meaning she was pure, man, in the days of when we was in order. But now, Eve, let me see. Their visage is blacker than a coal, meaning their faces. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It is become like a stick. Let's see some. They that be slain, verse 9 of Lamentations 4 and 9, which is where I want to get anyway. They that be slain with the sword. And who has that sword? And who has that blessing? Esau, even the so-called white man. That's the blessing that the Heavenly Father has given him. This is how he gained access of the world in the manner that he did, because even if the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, gave him that blessing, and now he still possessed that blessing in greater force than the average so-called gun, because he got what? Nuclear weapons now that he created, even for his own demise in the days of his end. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, because Jacob trouble is here, and you would better be what? Be slaughtered than what? Than starved to death, and not having nourishment to feed yourself, and what? And just literally just what? Hey man, a lot of you Jakes gonna be around so damn thin around here, man, and not have nothing to eat. When you fools don't know that a lot of the things that you walk past is edible. But you got to know what to eat and what not to eat, because some of it can kill you. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. And the fruits of the field goes into what? Goes into people. Now, our fruits now, meaning our children, is what is put in the hands of Eve, and Eve ain't teaching and showing them a damn thing. All they doing is is applying the wickedness of Esau, Edom, along with the programming of destroying the homes in the manner that it is. Let's see some. That's verse 11. I'm on verse 11, then I'm gonna close it out, which is which I read earlier, which I used from a precept from verse 4, I think. Yeah, verse 4. But verse 11, Lamentation 4 and 11. The Lord Yahweh has accomplished his what? His fury. He has poured out his fierce anger, and has kindled a fire in Zion, and it has what? Devoured the foundation thereof. And the foundation thereof was what? Was us as a people. Our captivity has come to an end. And that captivity of us coming to an end consists of Eve wickedness and the so-called white man wickedness in the days of what we are in now, which is Babylon, which is America. Now they both is being exposed, and the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is going to continue to exposing them until that reign of fire, which is the second death, hit America, which is Babylon. So on that note, I'm going to say, call Halal Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rokah HaKodash, Shalom.